Hello and welcome to episode 22 of Tech Bites, bite-sized tech talks for teens, presented by HighTechU. I am so excited to be your host today. My name is Andrew, and I am the co-founder. And I'm the co-founder of HighTechU, and I'm also excited to be the person that gets to introduce you to our presenter for today, Sargun, who has been doing our amazing Sensational Cyber Security Series. So this is an image of the person you're going to get to meet in just a minute. But before we get into that, just a little sort of overview of what this whole thing is about if this is your first time tuning in to a Tech Bite session. So these are interactive sessions, which means that not only do you get to learn some really awesome stuff, but you actually have the ability to connect with your presenter. So you will see over here, we have got a chat, which you are welcome to use to ask questions. I'll be there moderating and passing things on to our presenter. If you are catching this on YouTube, unfortunately, you've missed that interactivity, but if you find down below, you've got the opportunity to make comments or ask questions. We make sure that those get back to our facilitators as well, so that we can have those questions answered for you over there too. There is a little bit of a delay on the stream, so you might ask a question after we've already moved on, but don't worry, we will do our best to catch all of those pieces. So with all that being said, I am in just a second going to turn it over to our presenter, again, Sargun, who's here for part number 3 in our Sensational Cyber Security Series. So Sargun, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Awesome. So let me just transition over to you, and then we can say goodbye to my face and focus on the stuff that is really important. And I'm super excited for our network nefariousness tech talk today.
Hi. Thank you, Andrew, for introducing me. And today we're going to learn about network attacks. So what is a network attack? When a hacker exploits and targets your system, especially the large multinational companies and the computer information systems, to steal or destroy the data, that's called a network attack. They can even change your login credentials or try to steal your identity, and they're also called cyber attacks. So today we're going to be learning about 4 categories of network attacks. These are not the only categories out there. There are a lot of other categories too, but for the ease, we are going to be discussing these 4. So the first one is the authentication attacks, and they are subcategorized into dictionary attacks and brute force attacks. Next comes the scanning attacks, and they are subcategorized as SynScan and AXScan. Third up, we have DOS attack, and those are of 2 types: denial of service and distributed denial of service. And the fourth and the last one is the web application attacks, which are of 2 types: SQL injection and cross-site scripting. So let's talk about the authentication attacks. So authentication attacks target the websites which use authentication systems to verify a user's identity, and they try stealing the usernames and passwords by attacking the network on which the website is being hosted. So the first type of authentication attack is a dictionary attack. It is a kind of trial and error attack in which the hacker supplies a word list. So there are a lot of word lists available online for this type of dictionary attack. And the next type of attack would be the brute force attack. The brute force attack is similar to a dictionary attack, except it tries to brute force the system by trying all the possible combinations that are out there. And this type of attack requires more memory and a really powerful system, and it can take even days to get the brute force attack to work successfully. Next up, we have scanning attacks. These are also called probing attacks, and these involve tools such as uh, protocol scanners like Nmap, ZenMap, ZMap, XScan, etc., to scan the open ports and types of operating systems, the filtered ports, and etc. And this is a TCP handshake. So the reason why we're discussing TCP handshake is because in order to understand the scanning attacks, we need to know what a TCP handshake is. So TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocol, and it is used for a reliable connection. When when a TCP protocol occurs, in that there are two hosts, host A and host B, as you can see in this figure. So host A sends a SYN flag to host B in order to set up a connection with host B. And for that purpose, they use SYN flag. Now, if the host B's port will be open, the host B will reply with a flag called SYN-ACK, and that will open a connection. And then host A will send in an ACK flag, ACK flag, that's called an acknowledgement flag, to let host B know that a connection has been opened. And lastly, we have the fin flag, which is called a finish flag, which basically means that the data transfer is complete and the connection can be tore down now. So now that we know what is a TCP handshake, we can move on to the types of scanning attacks. So first up, we have SYN scan. So I told you guys that in order to set up a connection between two hosts, one host sends a SYN flag, and if the port will be open, the host B will reply with a SYN-ACK flag. But if the port is closed, then it will send the RST flag. RST flag means reset signal, and which basically means that it is a closed port. So this is the way in which SYN scanning is done. And ACK flag. So ACK flag is used to identify filtered ports. What I mean by that is that in the past, the firewalls did not block the ACK signals, and but those were called stateless firewalls. But now the present firewalls have an ability to identify the ACK flags and then block them. And if a host tries to send an ACK, if a user tries to attack another server but by an ACK scan, then the firewall of the other system would, if it is filtered, then it would block that scan. And if it's not, then it will be identifying the filtered ports. So next up, we have DOS and DDoS attacks. So in a DOS attack, basically a compromised server is used to send lots and lots of SYN flag requests to another server without waiting for any acknowledgement from the user. Like in a TCP handshake, let me just go back. In a TCP handshake, this guy, host A, he is sending ACK signal to host B, but in a DOS attack, the compromised machine does not let the other machine wait for an ACK signal, and it keeps on sending the SYN attacks. This is called SYN flooding, and basically what it does is it exhausts the server's resources and causes buffer overflow, which is very dangerous. So in DOS, only one computer is used to do SYN flooding, and in DDoS, that is the distributed denial of service attack, multiple computers are used to flood the computer. There can be like thousands and thousands of different computers which are trying to flood the system. If in Wireshark, if anyone is proficient in Wireshark, and it will appear as if thousands and thousands of different IP addresses are sending the SYN flags to the user computer within like milliseconds, within a very short period, and that's the indication of a DDoS attack. So in the recent years, the total average cost of DOS attacks has been $1.1 million, and that's US dollars. So DOS attacks causes a lot of damage financially. Last, today we have web application attacks. So all of us surf the web almost every day, and we log into our web pages, like our university courses, and the banking information. And if there are vulnerabilities in that web page, it can be used to steal information. And one of the most bad things about the web application attacks is that attackers can go undetected in the system, and you wouldn't even know that your system has been attacked if it has been a web application attack. Recently, in the recent studies, they show that 73% of the cyber attacks have been caused by web application attacks. And they have caused a destruction of about $2.4 million. Okay, so these are some of the useful resources that I use to learn about security. And I think Andrew's gonna type it in the chat box for you guys. And yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Sargun. I am just going to put us both over onto the same window. So yeah, I'm not going to type it in here on Twitch, but if you are interested in getting those, you can grab them from our YouTube upload that we will be making in just a minute. Yeah, do you want to throw them back up on the screen there, though, just in case people are interested? And I'll just make you a little bit smaller so people can see that. So yeah, if you're interested in checking out these resources that Sargun has up there, so you've got blog.newcloudsnetwork.com, proofpoint.com, a Cisco article, and then Geeks for Geeks. So we'll share those in our YouTube upload, which we'll be making a little bit later this afternoon. And then if you have any questions, we'll maybe take a minute to see if anybody wants to ask those in chat. And then, Sargun, I'm going to unscreen share. Do you want to stop screen sharing for a second, and then just so that we're there we go. Yeah, and then I'm going to go back to full screen. Oh, it did not like that. Oh goodness. All right, let me fix you. Presenter and host. Just need to fix this for a second. Zoom meeting. Okay, we'll change it, and then we'll go to Zoom meeting. There we go. Perfect. Awesome. So now you're back. So Sargun, I have a question for you. What of all of these are kind of the thing that people that are coming on to, or that are worried about network attacks, what are kind of the things that they need to do to set themselves up for success so that they're not getting attacked, or the attacks aren't successful?
So I would say that, first of all, the passwords are the most important stuff out there. You should not keep the similar passwords for a different bunch of accounts. And am I getting your question right?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. So yeah, passwords, and also you should set up a stronger password, not just your name and then a bunch of like random numbers in front of it. That's not gonna work because the systems out there, like we discussed, dictionary attacks and brute force attacks today, you would not believe the types of combinations that are up there. Um, it can detect like weak passwords within like a half an hour if the system wants to.
Awesome, thanks for that. So it doesn't look like there's any other questions that are on the stream. But if you are tuning into the stream, I'll just throw some. I will throw some links into the chat over here. So if you want to learn more about HighTechU, you can check us out at hightechu.ca. If you want to check this out on YouTube, you can find us over on YouTube. Obviously, we really would love if you are willing to subscribe to us here on Twitch. We also are on all of the social media, so just look us up, HighTechU. We'd love to see you. And then before we go, a huge thank you again to Sargun for this amazing session. And then a huge thank you to our sponsors and supporters and funders and all the rest of the people that make HighTechU happen. We're so excited to be able to do these sessions that it wouldn't be possible without ongoing support from everybody, including you amazing viewers. So for those of you who have just caught the end of this, we're sorry that you missed the end, but we're going to be uploading this to YouTube a little bit later today. So thank you for dropping by, and make sure to drop by our YouTube channel. And for those of you that like this stream here on Twitch, make sure to stay tuned for more content that will be coming from us. So with all that said, thank you so much for coming. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time.